Hi, I'm Pippa Goldson. I'm a second year fashion design student at the University of South Wales.
My name is Jane Barn and I'm the fashion design lecturer at the University of South Wales.
I had no experience with digital fashion at all. I'd seen maybe a few videos, but I didn't really understand or know what I'd seen until I came to an open day here at the University of South Wales, and I saw a video of some digital fashion, and that's when I realised, I'd really like to learn how to incorporate that into my designs. I use it in all my design processes, like right from the beginning in developing my designs, right through to the final product. It pushes me as a designer to create things that I wouldn't necessarily be able to create in the physical world.
Digital fashion has come into play a lot more since the pandemic. Things kind of moved on a lot sooner than we anticipated within the fashion industry. So we've implemented a lot of digital fashion within our modules.
So in response to the brief, there's always obviously a lot of research, and since using digital fashion, I've brought that and incorporated it into my research, such as testing out fabrics and seeing how they drape, like using a digital fabric that's got the similar properties as a physical fabric. Right through to when I'm designing, seeing how things look, saving on fabrics rather than creating toiles. And then obviously once I've got my final designs, creating it all on there.
So our students for their particular module that was design-led were requested to research using artificial intelligence into a particular field. Using artificial intelligence, they would build their research and then they would use the digital software to begin their design process. So students are able to create their own avatar, so dependent on their target audience or their consumer, they can build a specific avatar that they can design upon. Another module that we were doing, we're looking at adaptive clothing, so limb differences and things like that were also something that can be created using a specific avatar. Through the design process then, students will design on the body, on the avatar that they have created. Also, if there are any tweaks or things like that, different changes and adaptations, they are able to do this using the software.
It helps us to push ourselves as designers to kind of think outside of the box, but also, bridging the gap between physical and digital to create Fidgetly we've been looking at. And using the digital within our design process to then create physically at the end. So creating it all on Clo and then eventually creating the garment in person physically, and creating it on Clo first you can see how you want your garment to look without wasting a lot of fabric. So sustainably it's amazing. From a sustainable point of view, obviously there's so many benefits. The fashion industry is one of the biggest polluting industries, so environmentally saving on not only time but resources and materials. Creating these designs digitally doesn't mean that you have to continuously keep perfecting your design physically and wasting that time and fabrics and resources.
Usually within the fashion design industry, prototypes would be done physically, so they would have to use a lot of fabric, they would have to do a lot of tweaks and differences, whereas using the digital software, this can actually be done digitally. So from a sustainable aspect, this is a lot more sustainable and there's a lot less waste.
And there's the idea that in the metaverse, we're not actually buying and consuming these products. So obviously in the metaverse, if we were to buy them, we're not creating them in real life and consuming them and adding to fabric waste.
From a creative perspective, students feel that this is a lot more creative because they have instant results. They're able to see exactly how this garment would look. The avatar is able to move and walk around. Obviously, when they're designing physically this on a mannequin, this wouldn't be possible. So from a creative perspective, it aids their creativity a lot more.
It's beneficial in terms of collaboration as well, being able to, send projects off to other people in the world. Digital fashion makes things a lot more accessible. Creating digitally also allows us to create adaptable clothing. I think this is really important. I did a project on this, and by changing the avatars and creating for whoever the consumer is, allows us to think about not just like the designs, but also how to benefit them. Creating digitally allows us to find solutions for individuals' needs, and looking at adaptive clothing and how we can be more inclusive and design so that we can help people, not just for aesthetic purposes.
At the University of South Wales, we're constantly looking within the fashion industry to see how it's changing, how it's adapting, and it's moving really, really quickly. We've implemented new technologies, and we're trying out different things. We're experimenting with different things as well, and we're making sure that our students are aware of the software and how fast the industry is actually evolving. 5 years down the line, we may all wear a piece of virtual clothing. It is something that is kind of happening, and it's happening at the moment. So it's only going to work more towards that side of things and continue to evolve. And we're hoping in the next few years that we're going to continue to build upon this. And we're really excited to see what our students will be able to bring to the fashion industry in the future.
The fashion industry and digital fashion has progressed massively and is only going to keep progressing. So I'm really excited to see the doors it's going to open and the opportunities it's going to create, not just within fashion, but also other creative industries such as gaming, art and animation.
So at the University of South Wales, we want our fashion design students to kind of go out into the industry and to make a difference. Sustainability is really high on the list for the fashion industry. So to be able to start creating a digital catwalk, we start this in the first early stage. Our first year students have started to implement this. Our students are then able to kind of work towards a more sustainable future within the fashion industry. So I think it was quite scary for us to do this initially because it's something very new. The pandemic, I think, kind of pushed things a lot further forward that we anticipated, a lot faster. So digital fashion became something that we've kind of started using within the last 3 years. And it's really exciting to know that our students are able to go out into the industry and to be current and to be able to use the software that is currently being used to change a linear fashion industry to something a lot more circular.